I was waiting for it to go ahead and unmute us automatically. Apparently, I need to adjust the button. This is what it is.
It doesn't automatically.
I had it every week, and you know, soon Tim will be here, so he'll be able to fix shit when I can't shit.
Every day.
You what?
Make changes every day.
I don't make changes every day. I make changes every day that I sit up here and touch stuff.
So every other day and sometimes every day.
Yes, all the time. So let me click on, let me see, we are on, I gotta make sure I got everything up. This is my brain. I can switch to that, there we go. This is my brain, welcome to the show. Jeremy Scott Gibbs, I think that's me. Londa Gatt, do you say Gatt or Gatt?
Yeah.
Gatt, okay. What's got an, it's got an A. It's like Tanya, my wife. It's T-A-N-Y-A, and everybody goes, Tanya. And she goes, it's Tanya.
Tanya. Yeah.
So get. Okay.
By marriage.
Yeah, I get it.
Ex-marriage.
Right. Well, who hasn't been down that road?
You get it?
You get it?
Never been there.
Mm-hmm. And Grandma Connie. Of course. Grandma Connie's here. So we're going to do a kick-ass interview and have a good time tonight.
Awesome.
So October 23rd, Tim's in the house. We had a few things. I was planning on getting started by 7, but you know, that's how it goes. So let's, how was dinner?
It was awesome.
While I click on a couple things over here. We have, you had steak too.
You know, I succumbed.
I'm gonna, no, keep talking. I'm gonna make adjustments.
I succumbed to the steak.
Was it good?
It was fantastic. Can you still hear me?
There we go.
There we go. Yeah, no, the steak was great. The salad, he refused to bring it out.
Yeah, I refused.
He did refuse to bring it out.
I was like,
I'm
fuck
a little
that
hollow,
salad.
But yeah,
I'm adjusting right now.
I said, no, the salad's coming out because that is how I stay lively with my greens.
We need our greens.
Gotta eat my greens.
What pack do you have? You got number.
I got one.
No, you got number 2.
Oh,
At
I
least-
I have 2, I think.
No, those are headphones.
Headphones.
Oh.
You're coming through on.
I'm coming through a little hollow. What'd you do to me? Now I'm gone.
Yeah, because you're.
No. There we go.
See, this is the shit that needs to be set up beforehand.
Oh.
Are we live right now?
Yeah, we're live.
We're live. It doesn't matter. People who listen to us don't mind.
They know we fucked this up.
But this is the deal. You know, if you meet somebody who's perfect, do not introduce them to me.
Right.
I don't want to deal with perfect.
Yeah, that's kind of snobby
Yeah.
territory.
I just can't do it, you know? If you be without mistakes, you move along, little dog.
Oh, that's why.
What is it?
For some reason, Channel 1 and Channel 2 were linked.
Oh,
And now they're not linked and they're not sounding like shit.
let me see. Yeah, that's much better.
that much
Oh
better?
my gosh, it was so hollow there. For
It
a
was
while.
hollow. And do we have a bug?
Yep.
As soon as
He
I
went-
start my fucking show?
Yep, there he is.
Son of a.
Biscuit. Did he land?
I went that way.
Yeah, and that's another thing, honestly.
Yeah.
There's no bugs up here at all, and the minute we get on air, there's at least 2 or 3, the little teeny ones, you know, the little fruit flies, or,
Yeah. I
will
or
literally-
these stink bugs
Yeah.
that,
I will literally leave my. Huh?
what'd you say?
What'd you say, Tim?
Oh, so they're following the sweet smell of people.
Is it people or is
You
it
know
our
what?
booze?
You know what I think it is? Honestly, you know. Check. I'm not.
Yeah, you're good.
Can you hear me?
I can.
I'm not hearing mine very well, but it's coming. It's got a strong signal over there.
We all hear you fine. What's
You
going
must
on?
be the weak link.
You know what? It may be
Who
my.
is the
I am the
winkest link?
Okay.
You're the winkest.
Tim, you tell me if our levels are good in the stream, and I'll go with you.
Yeah, I'm monitoring. We're 5x5.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, ribeyes. I tried a little different with the honey pepper sauce tonight.
It was really good.
Thank you.
It was excellent.
And some sweet
Same
peppers.
time tomorrow
Yeah.
and the next day.
What do you mean? I'm taking that half a steak I didn't eat home with me,
course you
man.
And of course my signature mushrooms, and the salad is included in the list there.
Yes, and
Even
I
though
did have it.
I didn't give two shits about the salad, but you know. I'm a refined vegan. You know that, Mom.
What does that mean?
That means
Didn't you
cows eat grass, and
yeah,
I
yeah.
eat cows.
Yeah.
Therefore, I'm a refined vegan.
I knew I needed an explanation.
Cows have four
because-
stomachs. I have one. I mean, just do the math. That's
No.
the processing power alone.
No.
For me to get my roughage.
I asked him
right
if
there.
he wanted some broccoli, and he's like, "No, well, I'm not really into that."
Yeah. You know, broccoli or cauliflower is like a
Dipper.
as a dipper. You know, that's fine. But broccoli and cauliflower as no.
Part of the
You know
salad.
what? We should have got it because you'd have eaten it as a salad anyways.
I would have put it in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sneeze. It's coming on.
Do hit your switch.
No, I'm gonna sneeze right into.
Holy shit! You're gonna blow everybody out. I gotta just hit your switch. Just go like that. There you go.
Yeah.
Achoo!
I'm sorry. When you go to sneeze, how quickly can you get a tissue, let
Well-
alone hit the switch, get a tissue, or make sure?
As soon as Tim's here full time, he'll be able to hit the button. There'll be a delay and all sorts of studio shit and everything like that. He'll fix all my hodgepodge.
I just want to catch the sneeze in the tissue. That's my main concern.
But your sneezes are really, really loud.
It's not on purpose.
I know, but they're still really, really
I
loud.
had one today in the kitchen.
Did
and
you
I
scare
had-
the squirrels?
No, I don't think so, but I woke up the guy next door because I had the slider open and I sneezed and I thought, oh, the lake heard that. The whole lake
Right.
heard the echo. So yeah, it was pretty loud.
Okay. Oh, there I am. Holy, I thought I plugged me in the wrong shit. Did you guys hear your ears all right?
All right.
I'm like, why is it so quiet in my ears?
Are you good now?
I'm on channel 4. I didn't realize I was on channel 4. I'm good now. Okay.
All right. Well, yeah, so dinner was fantastic. I'll come again.
You will?
I will.
Thanks, Mom.
You're welcome. I'll come again.
Disclaimers.
Come back too.
You'll
See,
come back
she
too?
wanted to come back tomorrow.
The band's practicing tomorrow. Come on back tomorrow.
There you go. What's tomorrow? Monday?
Monday. Yeah.
Kind of music.
Rock and roll.
Okay. What are you guys? What are they playing? Or are you part of the band?
No.
He is the band. He's the singer and the bass player.
I have my moments.
Well, he's blowing smoke right now. Then, huh?
He's very good.
What kind of music?
Actually, which band? 3OF
Single barrel.
or Single Barrel?
Yep. Jeff is indicating we have no sound on Rumble. I don't know if that's
Well,
been
if Jeff
fixed.
doesn't know how to turn on a button, that's Jeff's problem, right?
Jeff.
You have to
We got
click.
plenty of sound in Rumble.
Jeff.
Can you read sign language? I don't think he can read sign language. You have to click on, you know what he's doing? He's watching the video
Yeah.
on the page.
Yeah.
You have to click on the video, and it actually opens up the video and unmutes it.
Yeah.
You can see it in the feed and all that shit. I
Jeff.
appreciate you, Jeff.
Jeff can't hear us, so what's the point of calling him out?
I don't know.
Jeff, don't do it.
Don't you-
Don't
don't
you
you-
do it, Jeff.
Where's my Jeff at?
I don't know.
I
We
have
should
not.
find a way to edit our ticker to tell people who don't know. Hey, Jeff, we do a Jeff ticker.
Yeah.
Jeff,
Jeff, don't send me shit.
Sound.
Don't do it, Jeff. Don't fucking do it.
I hope you heard that one. You know why, Jeff? You know why you can't do that?
And it creeps me the fuck out.
That's why. You don't send shit like that.
That's right.
You know?
Bullshit.
Oh my.
That was Trump.
That's
oh
my
yeah.
fault.
I'm sorry we didn't warn you about the sticky, the static electricity over
So good.
there. We only have one disclaimer for the night.
Oh yeah.
Londa has no disclaimers. Do you prefer Londa, or do you like the Yogi moniker? We're gonna get into that. We're gonna figure out what that's all about. You're gonna explain that in a minute.
What?
After we do the disclaimer, you're gonna explain the Yogi thing.
I can't.
No, okay.
I mean,
No,
there's
it's fine.
nothing to explain because my brother gave me that nickname as we were kids, and I'm like, people are asking me, why did you name me Yogi, Yogi Lou? And he goes, I don't know. I just started calling you Yogi. I'm like, okay.
But that is an explanation.
But I had to have a biker name. I can't go by my real name, they said, so, you know.
Which is interesting, because I've got some new biker buddies. I've got some older biker buddies who never, like, really mentioned that. But I've got some new biker buddies, and they have all these names.
Yeah,
And I go,
it's weird. It's different.
It's
It's a different world.
It is. Okay, there we go. I'm realizing why that is. All right, try to talk again.
Hello?
There, that's much better. The compression and gate was on there a little bit much. Okay. Bug, you're gonna fucking die.
Oh, crumbling. Watch your drink.
That's why we do what we do on the show.
That's more protein.
The fucking, I mean, I'm telling you what. You can do all the preparing and everything you can, and then the fucking bugs just,
So what disclaimer are you going with?
I don't know.
We're
I'm
going
so
with this
fucking lost.
one.
All right, let's go to the overhead shot.
You want overhead?
Yeah.
Yeah, overhead. Oh, you can't hardly see it. Go up.
Notice, if you don't know by now, this podcast is raw, unfiltered, politically incorrect. We say Merry Christmas and the Pledge of Allegiance, especially the part about under one nation under God. We thank our troops for their service. We only recognize two genders, and as adults, we enjoy adult beverages. Adult beverages? Oh, yeah.
Right on.
There you go. We cuss, we do not curse or swear. We love Jesus, but we hate religion and religious assholes. If any of this offends you, you can please fuck off. Pretty please. Fuck off.
That's just wrong.
So we need an updated version of that for.
You know what? I was almost to that point. It's
He
in the
was
computer.
working. Did you get it right? Printed up where it didn't say the right thing? Let me see.
I did. You changed it.
I know, but I just want to make sure.
It was in the other laptop.
Oh, yeah.
Tim. It was.
good.
Yeah.
It was?
Yeah. So that one right there doesn't work. This place is politically
This is the
incorrect.
short version.
You know, I just don't. Some of that, it doesn't. You know, it's like those signs that say no soliciting, and they're like, we have found Jesus. There's like, most of them I agree with, like we have found Jesus and this and that. And then the ones like, we're too broke to buy any of your shit. I'm like, I'm not proclaiming poverty over myself.
Right.
I just don't want to buy your garbage. How about that? I don't have to say I'm broke. I'm not lying to you. Get the fuck off my porch.
Oh, my.
So we do cuss on the show. We don't curse though.
Right
But
on.
that's it. Londa, Yogi, Michigan Bikers for Trump State Director, Bikers for Trump Midwest U.S. Trainer and Coordinator, Executive Board Member of the Macomb County GOP Grassroots Director, Coordinator for Mike Detmer, which Mike's been on the show multiple times, for his campaign for the 8th District Congressional District. You are a Republican Delegate Executive Board Member. Are you still the Executive Board Member?
No,
Okay. But you were. Okay. Is that just recent?
2 years.
2 years ago. Second Vice President for the Republican Women's Federation of Michigan Club Subcommittee. That's a fucking mouthful.
Yeah,
that an acronym?
that's current.
Yeah, is there an acronym for that? Can we just say?
No.
That's
Shut up,
cool.
Tim.
Sub-Vice President for
Well, no, you
Republican
could say,
Women's Federation of Michigan Club Subcommittee.
You can say Women's Republican Federation of Michigan, second president.
Okay, we'll get into that. Second Amendment board member. I did not know there was a board member for the Second Amendment. And you are a lifelong NRA member.
Yeah.
So what is it? So do you want to work from the top or you want to work from the bottom back up?
Whatever floats your boat.
Nice. We like easy peasy.
About 4 or 5 gallons of water. I have a really tiny boat. It just it doesn't. That's what floats my
If
boat.
it's that tiny, it's only, a cup full. Hello.
I thought about inheriting my uncle's sailboat. I love it,
Yeah.
but I would never use it.
That's exactly the issues.
I would be here
Yeah.
doing a podcast or jamming with a band or hosting
They'd
a
wonder
party.
why that sailboat was buried in the backyard and where there's no lake.
The kids and the rats would be playing with it, right? Okay. What,
You have to
Tim?
broadcast from international waters.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Internet. We could do pirate radio.
We could go over
Yeah, you
to
could.
what's
We
his
could do pirate
face's
radio.
pond.
Oh yeah, John's Pond. We could drop it in there.
There you go.
And we would spend more time getting it in there, trying not to swamp it, than we would, because it's a pond.
There's no sides
no
to
landing.
get in it.
There's no landing. We can't back it in there and launch it.
You'd have to wear your hip waders.
I'd have to wear my full body wetsuit. Fucking amazing.
That
All right,
bad, huh?
let's start from the top. Michigan Bikers for Trump, state director. Are you still the state director?
Yes.
What is that? What does that mean?
Well, I just oversee Bikers for Trump for Michigan. So when I host events, I'm in charge of the statewide events.
Okay. So when we were talking during dinner, you've been around the country, not all over the country, but a big broad, because the next one is the Midwest trainer and coordinator. So you've been to multiple events in Bikers for Trump. So what is that? I mean, you told me a couple stories downstairs, but what do you think when you think about being a biker for Trump?
Well, the whole reason I joined was because, President Trump woke me up, well, he was a candidate then, woke me up to what was really going on in our country. And I thought, my gosh, I have children. I have to get involved, because I was concerned about even having children in today's world with what was going on back then.
Okay.
So I did that, and then I got on board, and I found out I could become a part of Bikers for Trump. So I joined it, and I just took off from there. I hosted events in Michigan and Virginia, or DC, Florida, Ohio, Missouri, Wisconsin. I've been all over the United States, and we helped Ron DeSantis to win. We contributed it.
Okay.
We had 6 rallies, and I brought a bunch of girlfriends down there we passed out like over 3,000 flyers at the events, and Josh Hawley.
Okay.
We helped him. We had 2 rallies for him, and then we tried for Jim Ranisi in Ohio, but he didn't end up winning. But one thing that Bikers for Trump is going to go down in history historically is because one of my moderators for Ohio, his wife worked for the Amish people for 15 years, and we got the Amish people on board. We had President Trump and Mike Pence fly in at least 5 times, different events, to bring him in on that, to talk to the Amish people. They didn't want their picture taken, they didn't want to be photographed, and all that.
Right.
And if I didn't have that connection, or Bikers for Trump, he was one of my moderators, and she worked for him. She was their driver when they couldn't take the buggy and they had to have a driver. She's been working for 15 years plus, and I'm repeating myself, I'm sorry. So yeah, because of that, I mean, it was like historical, because it branched out to Pennsylvania and other states, and the national head person, I don't know the terminology for that,
Right.
but they all came in, they had several meetings with President Trump.
Now you told me during dinner you've been to the White House how many times?
3.
3 times, and that was a direct part of being Bikers for Trump? Or was that 2 times for Bikers for Trump and 1 time for something else?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I've never been there.
And
you also made it to Mar-a-Lago.
Yes, and West Bend Minister, his national golf resort in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
There was like over 200 of us for Bikers for Trump to get a personal invite to his estate, the golf resort, I'm sorry.
Did you golf?
No, it was raining. I did my hair and everything, and I had to ride in. I was like a mopping mess. I'm like,
awesome.
Really? And it was cool. He gave us lunch, and he made sure we all had towels, and whatever they need, give it to them. And when he came in and did his talk,
Yeah.
it was just our group. And at the last 5 minutes of it, he said, well, they've been out there waiting in the rain. Do you think we should bring in the media? And we're like, no.
Because they're not going to tell the truth
They're not gonna
anyways,
tell the
right?
truth.
So
No,
bring
they're a
them
bunch of
in.
shitheads.
Yeah, so they came in, 5 minutes, and I thought, you know, I've always taken the back seat and been passive, and I thought, if I don't get this chance, I will never get my picture taken with him.
Right.
And I'm like, Mr. President, please, I want to get my picture taken with you. And he's like, yeah, sure, come on. And then bikers, what we do is we all put our arms around each other, right? So,
Yeah.
of course, that's what I did. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. He goes, I said, I didn't mean to do that. He goes, no, it's all right. You know, he did.
That's awesome.
It was cool. It was really cool. And I was like, and then a little bit later on, you know, so he signed my my Bikers for Trump patch on the back of my vest.
Okay.
And I was telling the story where I got sucker punched by Antifa, yeah, in Royal Oak.
Assholes.
Yeah, and and the whole time people are like, asking him to sign stuff, and he's like, He's not even looking. I'm thinking, oh, why isn't he like looking at how he's signing it?
Right.
To their vest, yeah. But I thought that was kind of cool, you know.
He was listening to you and.
Yeah. He was, and then I saw everybody. I had a MAGA hat on, and I saw everybody getting their his autograph.
Yeah.
Oh my God! You wouldn't believe what I did. I'm such an airhead sometimes. He's like, I'm like, oh, would you mind signing mine? He's like, yeah, sure. So he comes over towards me, and he starts grabbing. I thought he was grabbing my hat.
Right.
And I'm like, what are you doing? Like that too. He goes, well, I can't sign my autograph with your glasses. I'm trying to take the glasses off. I'm like, oh my God.
You forgot your glasses were up there?
Yeah. Talk about feeling like that big. I was like so embarrassed.
So it worked out though, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then you said when you were in Mar-a-Lago that he was motioning to you, you missed an opportunity.
Yeah.
Because it seems to me, and I haven't met him personally, I've been to a rally and I've watched him and his character and just as a leader, but it seems to me that he's extremely personable. He's extremely, and when you said what you said about that he said they've been out there in the rain, get them towels, get them whatever they need.
Yeah.
That's always the person that I have perceived him to be, is generous and giving and going beyond. For 4 years, they tried Russia collusion, Russia, all this other bullshit, and they couldn't get him on anything. They couldn't even find a single disgruntled employee to attack him. Stormy Daniels came after him and attacked him, and you know what happened with Stormy Daniels? She got the backlash suit.
You missed him.
No, I got him. See the stain?
No.
It's because it was gorgeous the last 2 days. They're all waking up and.
Oh, I know. They were all over
I had
the screen door.
It's partly my fault. I had the door open yesterday. It was just gorgeous out here. That's why I said when you said you were riding. Would you riding your bike earlier today?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna roll up on your bike and you come in here with this fucking Roush Mustang. Just rumbling up my driveway. I'm like, holy shit, dude, this. Yeah. Anyways.
My Harley's louder.
Well, you've got a Roush Mustang. What year is that?
2006. Stage one only.
Oh, only stage one. Okay. Okay. My Ford pickup has a 2.7 liter turbo.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know. See? It hauls my trailer and it gets up and goes. But you have what you got? You got you don't have the 5.0 in there, right? You've got is it the 5.0 in your Roush, or is it you got the bigger motor, right?
No.
You got the 5.0, but it's probably twin turboed and Roush tuned.
Yep. And then I think stage 2 is the different suspension, brakes or something.
Okay. It's badass. Mom walked out the door and she's like, "Oh, I like that." Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I said, I like your car.
Yeah. She's
Pretty
like, I
nice.
haven't washed it all year. I'm like, yeah, I didn't wash my truck all year. Wow, that was loud.
I gotta take it in and get it waxed.
You think?
Yeah.
It's a pretty car. Okay, so you've been around. You were a biker for how long before you became a biker for Trump? Have you been a biker chick for a long time?
Well, I grew up on mini bikes and dirt bikes, and I raised my kids on dirt bikes. I had a TTR Yamaha 250, and we were a part of the Michigan MMC Club. So they have 6 annual events every year, and you just, it's a family event, and it could be anywhere from 700 to 1,500 people. It's really cool because there's a lot of people that win a lot of things.
Right.
Really cool stuff, and they groom the trails for dirt biking, and it's fun. So it was
Okay.
a family event, so
Nice.
yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun. There we go. I'm continually adjusting over here as I'm listening.
So I was
You did
I
that.
was raised on bikes, and I raised my boys on dirt bikes. And then when I got divorced, I'm thinking, okay, well, I can't be on the back of anybody's bike. Not that I was at that time, but I started seeing someone, and I'm like, well, I can't date somebody and be on the back of someone else's bike. I got to get my own motorcycle.
Okay.
I rode my brother's motorcycle, for a while, and then I just bought my own.
So what do you have now?
A Dyna Switchback.
It's a badass.
Well, I had it enhanced a little bit. I had it dynoed and some different pipes and stuff, so.
Of course you did. Is this the, where's it at? I couldn't get it to pull up very big, but is that correct?
Yeah,
All right. How long ago was that?
year and a half.
Year and a half ago.
Something like
All right.
that.
There we go. There you are. And that's your dyno switchback?
Yeah,
The enhanced version?
yeah.
Nice. So, and that's where I pulled I was like, do you have a bio for tonight? And you're like, a bio? I'm like, all right, well, I did some research. So that's what I pulled up. So this is what I read up there. So, executive board member for Macomb County, GOP grassroots director. That's another mouthful. What's that mean?
I was just on the executive board. We would vote on things like there's something that was happening at Macomb County Hospital and stuff like that. So
Okay.
we'd vote on different things, and that was short term.
Okay.
It was like one season, or half a year. I guess it's a year, but
Okay.
you don't meet that often.
Okay.
Only when needed.
So you're very deep involved in political stuff because, we know Mike on the show, obviously. So you're involved in his campaign for the 8th District, Congressional District. That was, because his most recent campaign was for Senate against Lana.
Mm-hmm.
But you were involved with the 8th District. Was that a national?
No, that's
Was
state.
a local, that was a state
Yeah,
seat?
and then, I was involved with this last run too against Lana Thies,
Yeah.
but, not as involved because it was reconstructed the way the campaign ran,
Right.
so.
So I think we went over the second vice president. I still don't know what that means, but you were it.
Well, it's the Women's Federation. Michigan has the longest running Republican Party club out of the whole United States.
Really?
Yeah, so I am the second vice president and termed to be the first vice president next year.
Okay.
And so we host events for candidates, and then we host a event in Lansing in the capital of Michigan for the state legislators to come in, the women, and to talk about what's going on in their district.
Okay.
And then we bring in guests and stuff like that, and it's like a communication thing.
Okay. So what got you involved in politics? What Trump really got you involved? So you were...
I hated politics. I never was involved. I would just vote, and I don't know if I should admit this.
Yeah. If they don't like it on the show, they can fuck off. Remember?
No,
That was the
it's
disclaimer.
not a bad thing. It's just something that I didn't know. But early on, my mom, politics was never spoken about, and then I started waking up. And I will admit, I'm not going to say who, but I didn't know better because if you're not educated, you didn't know. I was young way back then,
Right.
and I actually voted for someone that I found out later that was a Democrat. But I thought, wow, that must be the right person. They have signs everywhere.
Oh,
And I'm
right.
like, and then I realized it, and I'm like, oh my God. But that was like
That was the wrong person.
That was long before I got involved currently.
Okay.
That, I realized it, and I'm like, oh my God. And I never told anybody this. This is the first time.
So it's confession time. I absolve you.
But I'm not telling you details, so I'm going to try to save myself a little bit.
Of dignity here. Just
bit.
a little.
Hey,
But
it happens.
I'm awoke.
Right?
I understand what's going on, and if I didn't have kids, I don't know if I really would have dug in so deep.
Okay.
Where I'm hanging out with the, Proud Boys and standing up against Antifa and all that.
Oh shit, hold on, I gotta cut the feed to Facebook now that you said Proud Boys. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
We didn't turn that one on.
So why don't I just do PB?
No. All the feeds are cut to the any or the assholes. We're good. I'm fucking with you.
Oh, smack him for me. You're his mother.
Look at Tim. I don't know why.
I smacked him so much, it still doesn't help.
Switch back, Tim. I don't know.
Tim,
He
what?
did. Now he's over.
He's showing me
over
cutting the
that.
feeds.
I didn't push that. I swear. That
Oh,
wasn't
did he
me.
cut that part out when I said Proud Boys?
He swears he didn't do it. No, I'm messing with you.
No, I don't care if he did.
We lost our whole channel from YouTube. Like wiped our whole channel.
Oh, why didn't you tell me ahead of time? I wouldn't have said it.
No. I'm messing with you.
Oh,
No, we're fine now. We're in.
The channel's
we're
gone.
in the
Like,
shape.
it's
It's
gone.
gone.
It's gone a while
Yeah.
ago. Yeah. I'm like, you just can't.
Yeah.
How dare you say
Because
shit
they
like
don't
that?
want they don't want you to speak about information that they don't
The
want
truth.
out there.
Exactly.
And they say, well, we don't want misinformation, but
No,
they
fuck
don't
you
want any information other than what they are spewing.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
I could post up. I got put in Facebook jail for posting up a White House Biden press release because it mentioned the word terrorist in their press release. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
And
It's their
every,
It's not
fucking
like
shit.
you made it up, right?
every single time, the last 3 times I've been put in Facebook jail, I can't challenge it. Sorry, we don't have people available.
Oh,
Well, that's. I think that was a
Classic.
joke, anyways.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah.
exactly.
It's a joke.
Don't care. So you've got 2 boys, 3 boys. Okay, that's what pushed you. How old are they?
33, 27, and 24.
Grandkids? All right, make sure you leave me their numbers.
They're not born yet.
I know. I need to talk to your boys. It's just,
Oh, my boys.
yeah, I need to talk to your boys.
Why?
They need to get. I got 7 grandkids, so I mean, they need to get to work. I mean,
Yeah,
what are
and
they waiting
his
for?
children are what? 30, 28, and 27? Is that right? 26,
26.
27.
27.
I just sent them a video about vaccines and how much damage. So I'm hoping, well, I didn't get a response, but I hope that they listen to it. I sent them 2 of them,
Right?
the 2 that are married.
Right, but they need to get some,
They don't respond to anything like when I do political stuff.
No?
To me, it's not political. But they're like, well, Mom, didn't you give us vaccines? I'm like, yeah, but I didn't know back then.
Well,
Now
also,
I know.
the vaccines that we got back then were damaging, but they were not
Bioweapons.
they weren't bioweapons.
Yeah.
Well, we talked about it earlier. You were talking about how they put a 5G. I said, offhanded, I said, well, where did they put the 5G tower? And you're like, a mile from my house. And now when you touch you hold your phone, you feel a vibration.
I get actually shooting pains right here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what that shit is. The 5G fucking, that's why I've refused. Tim's telling me I got to get a 5G phone at some point, and we will only pull it out of the Faraday bag to broadcast when we're on the road, like do a
It's
special,
just a hotspot.
use it as a hotspot, and then we put it back
Just
in
a
the,
hotspot.
just put it back in the bag. I refuse to go from the 4G to this, because apparently I've gotten used to the 4G frequency, but it's all about frequency.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, that's what a microwave oven is. A microwave is tuned to the frequency of a water molecule, makes it oscillate and vibrate. Well, all these other frequencies. There was years ago there was a cell phone company in Europe that had their cell phones, for whatever reason, tuned to the exact frequency length of the pine needles of this one forest, and they had their towers running through there. And all of us, in less than a year, this forest is dying, and they figured out it was the frequency was reacting with, or was affecting the needles. All the pine needles are falling off these trees permanent. They changed the frequency of the towers. The trees all came back.
Wow.
That's the type of shit that we're dealing with, and people don't want to acknowledge that. They don't want to look at that. You know, those factors. We've looked at it from. I mean, it's been floated in a lot of the conspiracy places that I listen to. It's been floated from day one. You know, that the vaccine and the 5G were both the number one test places in the world was Wuhan.
Yep.
You know, of
heard
course,
that.
yeah, but of course we know that the Wuhan was only tested there because Obama had to stop testing in Chapel Hill, North Carolina, and send it overseas somewhere. So that's why they sent it.
NIH.
Because he wasn't under the law.
That's the NIH.
NIH, yeah, they could no longer test it here,
Right.
So they had to send it over. So they sent it to Wuhan, which is also the test bed for the 5G. And 5G is not 5 gigahertz; it's just the 5th generation. That's what people got to understand. It's that does not denote what frequency it is. But anyways, what are you pulling up there, Tim?
Well, it's always bothered me
Nothing.
because
That was just a random click.
every time they talk about this COVID, they don't recognize the 5G as being a contributor to the problems in your body.
Except for, well, it's growing. But Dr. Leah Merrick has been she's been on the front of that, and I love her. We were talking a little bit about her. I'm gonna send you some links.
Yeah.
on her.
She's really good. But the thing was, it's like, you know, they showed in China where these people were dropping dead in the streets and everything.
Yeah, I saw
And they were saying it's 5G, or no, they were saying it was COVID, but literally it was they turned on the 5G. Could have been COVID virus as well, but they turned on the 5G. And as it progressed into the United States, what was the first places that got hit? The bigger cities. New York, for one.
Right.
You know, and it's like if you could pay attention to the rollout of the 5G and where it went first, you can see what happened. And it was all the big cities because they did the 5G so that these businesses could have the 5G network and be quicker, faster, whatever. And you can't do stuff like that without it affecting us.
Tim says it's 28 gigahertz and 39 gigahertz is the 5G, the 5th generation. That's where they're operating. Those are the bandwidths they're operating in.
Wow.
Those are some pretty big waves, surprisingly, gigahertz. But that's the type of stuff that begins to tune to the frequencies of our body. Nikola Tesla talked about how all life is frequency and energy, frequency and vibration. And it's amazing stuff. So we'll come back to some more detailed stuff, but what's the forefront coming into these midterms? What's on your mind? What's your focus? I want to get into the Proud Boys. I want to get into some more of your experiences and some of the stuff with Trump and stuff like that. But what's your focus coming into these midterms?
Well, what I'm most concerned about is that Donna, she was a candidate for the governor, and she got depleted from.
Yep.
And now she's a third-party taxpayer candidate.
Yeah, we've had a few discussions on the show.
It just drives me nuts because it's going to divide the vote.
Right. How strong do you think her pull is?
It's weak.
Right.
And I debate on
But I mean,
social with her people. They're like, well, you just don't. I said, I have Donna's cell number. I've talked to her. I've interviewed her. I've been with her. I said, but I don't see her on TV. I don't see male.
So not quite a Ross Perot, but she. How much percentage of vote do you think she's going to pull?
25% is my guess.
Really?
Off the bat.
Of the Republican vote?
Yeah, it's going to take away from Tudor Dixon, and it's going to screw us.
Right.
And I keep telling her, I said, stop. You guys, when has a third party ever won? Maybe once?
Once or twice, yeah.
Nationally? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Well, do you see this? Do you see that? And I'm like, don't even talk your smack with me because it doesn't matter.
Right.
I said, I'm not getting any mail-in flyers, nothing from her. I don't see her on TV. I don't see her at, different shows. They're not being,
She didn't get invited to the debate.
Yeah.
Is she a write-in only?
No, she's actually on the ballot as a taxpayer.
Ah, because she switched when she didn't get the nomination.
Yeah, and she got screwed, and she was smart because she had her team make copies of all the ballots, and they're saying, no, you're 10,000 short. And then she goes, nope, no, I'm not. Here it is.
She slapped it down.
Yeah, and you know what? They took her out because she was a threat. She's a CEO of Pipeline and other businesses, so she's got a lot of stuff going on, and she's got money.
Was there any?
And just like Jerry, what's his name? Johnson? What's his name?
I'm drawing a blank, but yes.
Yeah. He was another one. He showed up at the Mar-a-Lago event with Trump and stuff, and
Right.
and actually Matt Michonne Manock,
Matt Michonne. Okay.
daughter Parker actually was working on his campaign,
Okay.
and that didn't help because they kicked him out. Anybody that had money, this is what I think. This is my personal opinion. Anybody that had money they were gone. Anybody that was a real threat to Whitner.
Well, yeah, she was bought out by the pharmacies, man. She was promoted by.
Oh, Black Lives Matter.
She was promoted.
Dude, she posed with the drag queen story. God, it makes me sick.
Totally sick.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
She was, and even now she's trying to act like she's the hero.
Whitmer?
Yeah.
Whitmer.
Whitmer.
All those murders. I wouldn't call that a hero.
Yeah, but have you
I hear
watched? Have you watched her ads though? It's like
I know.
I've done everything for the kids, and
It drives me
and it's
crazy.
like you are such a liar.
You
Yeah.
shut down her whole fucking state for nothing. You're one of 3 governors
She's
that
a liar.
shut down their entire state.
I want to know how much she got paid for doing that. What was her kickback?
Well, she got to go back up north while everybody else was shut down.
Oh, my girlfriend, she has a house down the street, not even a block
Yeah.
from where the boat launch was.
Right.
And they told her, no, Whitner, that you can't, sorry, you got to get in line. There's people that made this appointment months ahead of time.
Right.
And they told her no. And then all of a sudden,
She lifts everything.
couple days later, the boat gets launched. They got
Yeah.
put up ahead.
Yeah, because her husband went down there, and I know some of the behind the scenes with her husband walking in there. Some of my buddies had the same launch.
And here's another, this hasn't been publicized either.
So this is breaking news.
When we were shut down, when you couldn't buy a flag, you couldn't buy paint at Home Depot, all that stuff.
You couldn't go to the garden shop.
You couldn't do nothing, buy seeds, nothing.
Right.
All right. So her husband got their cottage painted because they were preparing for the graduation party in May.
Yep.
He ran out of paint. The painter did.
Yeah.
You know,
And he was able to go buy it, do whatever he wanted.
The first time and the second time, to go back and get more when you couldn't buy paint. Nobody knows that.
Oh.
I posted on Facebook. I'm on my 5th Facebook account.
Nice.
But I had over 10,000 hits on that. They're like, oh yeah, they're marking their. I'm like, we're gonna protest in front of Whitner's cottage, and stuff like that,
Right.
It's like, oh, are you kidding me? And then, boop, it was gone. Facebook.
Of course.
Well, yeah, because the government was in on that one.
We got to suppress your speech
Yeah.
while we spew our bullshit. So that's what got you into politics. So you were not politically involved until Trump ran?
Yeah.
Wow. So in 4 years, you rack up this resume of just being spicy and getting involved.
I was just pissed because the way they were treating Trump, and mostly because of my kids.
Okay.
Because I was worried about the future for them.
Right.
That was it.
So how do they look at what you do, and where do they stand on a lot of the issues with you?
Well, they vote how I want them to vote. They agree with me.
Because your mom.
Well, and they see how radical the left is. But, you know, at the same token, they're like, Mom, it can be poisonous. You need to take a step back. You're like way too involved.
Okay.
I'm like, I'm doing this for you guys. I could care less about me. I'm older. It's about your future.
Right.
And, you know, they don't get it. I don't understand that.
Well, they're
Just kind you know, they've had really good lives. And they haven't had to suffer or do without or anything. And, you know, and 2 of them are doing really good financially, you know, but they could change tomorrow.
right.
So-
Especially under the current former vice
Yeah.
president.
Right?
Let's get a quick update from him.
He looks like a fucking loser.
Thank you.
Never go full retard.
All right, so there's a couple of Biden updates. But sorry, it just happens. I mean,
And it creeps me the fuck out.
you know,
Thank you, Tim.
that's the way we roll here. You know, there's 8 pages of shit now.
I know. I'm on at least 3.
You are at least 3
What does that mean? 8 pages of what?
sound bites.
Sound bites that they
that we have
grab
to
from
scroll
a
through.
show.
I can't even read them anymore.
That's my job.
Yeah.
That is your job. You know what Jordan Peterson said though.
And fuck you if you don't like it.
So 8 pages, I guess, is what we get. So, where's the? I was looking
Which
for
one?
moms on here.
Which one? I'm going to do what I'm going to do.
Yeah, where's that one at? There it is.
I'm
It
going
just
to
says
do what I'm going to do
says
for the
mom.
benefit of me. And I haven't had COVID 3 times. Fuck you very much.
and they wonder where I get my cussing from.
I didn't
mom.
cuss for years.
Oh,
Come
shit.
on. I began cussing when you were young. I quit cussing for 30 years and came back to it. Rock on.
Don't you talk back.
That's my favorite one. Don't you talk back.
You talk back.
You got that because you was with him.
Language.
That's too much fun. So your boys, that's the main reason. They vote the way mom wants. I've always been a subscriber of that. I've said from the beginning that the founding fathers have been maligned for not giving women the right to vote, and I'm like, you don't understand hierarchy. You don't understand patriarchy. You don't think that? I mean, go read the founding fathers' letters from their wives back and forth.
The women were involved.
They were a force to be reckoned with. And if you don't think that they had discussions around the table and that didn't shape our nation, you're a fucking idiot. You know, it's like, but what it did was it brought about a recognition of representative government by having mom and the kids sit around the table with dad and discuss the ideas. And then dad went and he discussed it at the local pub. And then they had a representative from the local pub because that was their main meeting place. So it was pretty much their convention hall, local convention hall. And then they went out and that was what the representative government was birthed from, was these successions of groups picking a representative. And when people don't understand that, it's like we have to have community and connection. So that's a segue into the next thing is how much in the Trump era, so you're going on 6 years of 7 years because Trump announced, and then 4 years in office, and we're coming up on 2 years of the failed vice president being in office, surreptitiously usurping power and stealing the election with the Democrat apparatus. But so going on roughly 7 years of being involved politically. How much of a connection? I've met more people in the last 6 months than I've ever met. How many people have you met, and how much of that? It's like we're connected because of Jane. Jane's been on the show. Jane's recommended multiple people. I think she was texting us 4 weeks ago about coming on the show. Mm-hmm. And every time I'm with Jane, she has to introduce me to 15 people. Oh, come over here. He's got a man cave. He's got a podcast. You got to come on the show. And I'm like, all right, Jane. I'm like, you're going to be my promoter.
What Jane said?
What? What'd Jane say?
Page 6. Second one down on the left.
Well, where's
Oh
the
yeah, Jane's on there.
page 6? Are you already on it?
Second on the left, he said.
Oh, Jane. I can't read. It's tall.
Leave me the fuck alone, and I'll leave you alone.
That is what Jane said.
Yeah. She says that.
So, how many connections, how much have you connected with people in your going on 7 years of politics, and what does that mean to you? That's the second part of the question. How valuable has that been connecting with people?
Well, I've made nationwide connections. A friend of mine, Rob Cordes, with the Trump Unity Bridge, I give him security as he goes through each state.
Okay.
And I'll give him a motorcycle escort to keep him safe. But I mean, everywhere I go, I mean, just meet people that are connected. I couldn't even give you a number, to be honest with you.
But it's a lot.
Oh, probably in thousands or whatever, because I meet a lot of people, you know. And DC, I've spoken in DC at a couple of events, you know. And then you meet 10, 20, 30 people at events. And Ricky, what's his name? Ricky, that he made that MAGA song, and with Rob Cordes and the Trump Unity Bridge, and they were getting attacked by Antifa. And he came out with the mega song, and he's out dancing, doing his thing, you know. And they got them to start dancing, Black Lives Matter, in the streets with them. And I picked him up in the airport, brought him in for an event in Michigan. We had a rally in Sterling Heights.
Okay.
And I spent like 3 months recruiting and going to the MC clubs.
Okay.
And to try to bring MC clubs, because, you know, I'm a female. And that's like
I didn't notice that.
a little difficult, you know, in the biker community for MCs. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. So, but the guy that oversees the MCOC meeting, that's the Motorcycle Confederation Clubs, it's where they meet once a month, and they have a lawyer on staff. If a biker gets in trouble, they can get help and blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
And so you have to be a part of that. You have to show up. You have to bring representatives from each club statewide. So it's a huge event. There's usually a couple hundred people there.
Okay.
So I get to speak at these events, you know, and not all, most are Trump supporters, not all of them.
Right.
So, and he lets me put down flyers and all that. And I recruited, we had almost close to 500 motorcycles, and we had this 9/11 tribute ride. We couldn't make it a Trump thing like we wanted to. We did it for veterans,
Okay.
9/11.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. I mean, but you saw Trump flags everywhere. And, you know, we had our bikes and we rolled around Lakeside. Have you ever been to Lakeside in Sterling Heights Mall? Lakeside Mall?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a pretty wide track. So we did 3 loops. We had a police escort, and then we did a ride out. And
Nice.
But it took, I did a lot of work in that, and I was really proud of that, because there's like 2 videos on it. It's very patriotic, and I get emotional when I watch it, because it's like, you know.
It's pretty badass.
Yeah, and then we shut down M59, which is like 5 lanes,
Okay.
and did a parade during rush hour on Friday. And, oh, I can't say this on public. I can get someone fired. One way or another, we were able to shut down that road, the main road in Macomb County, which is huge. And, and walked
One way or
and
another.
did a parade.
Had some kind of inside information going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want had people get fired.
Right, right.
Yeah. But they did it. But they're like, we didn't have any part of it. I'm like,
We generally change the names around here to protect the innocent, but the truth is nobody's innocent, so we're all guilty of something.
The truth will set you free.
The truth will set you free. So I asked you earlier, what do you, we went into talking about the third party candidate, but what do you see overall midterm wise? How many of the campaigns are you indirectly involved in or directly involved in or monitoring that means something to you?
Matt DePerno, state attorney.
Yep.
I mean, against Dana Nessel, obviously.
She's got to go. She just had a lawsuit.
Oh, yeah. That was
just one against her.
Sweet.
Yeah, that was fucking
awesome. And Tudor Dixon.
She's risen. We talked a little bit about this during dinner. I voted for Ryan Kelly.
Me too.
In the midterms. I was firmly behind him. Liked what he had to say. I didn't have a lot of. I didn't feel like Tudor carried the weight, you know.
She didn't, but she stepped up a lot.
But she has stepped up, and I tell you what,
Huge.
she won me completely over with her speech at the Warren Trump rally that I was able to attend with Jane and Larry, and I was like blown away. I was like, all right, this gal's, you know, she's not blowing smoke. You can tell when somebody's telling you what you want to hear, saying the shit that you want to hear, but you can, you know, at least I can.
Yeah.
And so when she was talking up there, I was like, this is from the heart. You know, she didn't have, it was a longer speech, one of the longer ones, because she's running for governor, you know, so Trump gave her time before he came on. But it was not rehearsed, you know, as far as, I'm sure there's main talking points that she's said over and over again at multiple places that she's been to. So it comes natural because you're repeating the same monologue. But at the same time, she veered into areas that I could tell were very, well, when Trump brought her back up, when President Trump brought her back up during his speech and asked her to say a few words, which was apart from her speech that she did before he came to the podium, she brought up and she said, yeah, she said, they asked me in the back if, you know, they said, you've been kind of mean, you know, you've been kind of mean to Governor Whitmer. How do you say about that? And she just, it was totally off the cuff. You could tell it was something unrehearsed, but genuine and honest of where her position was. And she's like, mean. And she went down this, you know, quick list of, she's like, she's done this and this and this. And you're going to ask me if I'm being mean to her?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, fuck, you know, she didn't do that.
She was very passive early on, and
Yeah.
that's why she didn't like, I'm like,
Right.
no. I'm with Ryan Kelly 100%.
Right.
You know, I think he would have been the best candidate,
Right.
for sure, but that's not who we have. And I think she's stepped up 1,000 plus. She's awesome.
Absolutely. And you know, some people, you don't see that and they rise to the challenge. I was a little bit bothered that Trump endorsed her last, you know, 25th hour.
Yeah.
But
it turned out good.
I believe that she has easily become the candidate that we need. I don't know if Ryan, just like with the Tom Barrett, Alyssa Slotkin race, I don't know that if Ryan could have escaped the label of being the bully beating up on the girl. Whereas when you've got Tudor and Whitmer standing, there's no, you can't genderize that. That's two women up there talking. And so you have to move past the gender and you just move straight into the merits of the debate. And I think Tudor's kicking ass.
Yeah, she is. I agree.
Yeah. So
100%.
So what other races are you watching?
On Christina, but I mean,
Christina's
Secretary of State, she's blowing smoke. I mean, she is like kicking ass to no end.
Dude.
I mean, I'm like, yes, you go, girl.
Dude, she's phenomenal, dude.
I love her.
I met her at the Victory Center up here, and Jane was like, you got to come on this podcast. She was doing it again. I'm like, all right, Jane. She's running for Secretary of State of Michigan. I don't know if I can get her on my podcast, all right, you know, especially since we were shadow banned all over the fucking place. But anyways, yeah, it was she's a straight shooter, and she reminds me of a number of the very genuine people that I've met throughout Metro Detroit and stuff like that. A lot of black pastors, associate pastors, and stuff like that, and a lot of the black churches that I've been able to connect with that are just genuine, salty with people. But she's on that right side of the debate.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the black pastors that I know down there just vote Democratic because it's ingrained in them.
Yeah, she's spot on, 100%. She's freaking phenomenal.
Dude. And her speech, like I said, my personal experience, her speech at the Warren rally was just badass.
Oh, I know.
I mean, she was like, and we're not going to do this. And I was like, damn, she just, I was impressed with
She lost her mom to COVID.
Right.
The Whitner.
Right, exactly. So, it was like she was in the midst of the campaign, and
Yeah.
beginning of it. I think it was when Trump last year was, when was it?
Yeah, he was promoting her last year.
Right, but he brought her. I think it was a speech down in Detroit, somewhere like that, and he brought her up, and he's talking about her, and he's like, and she just, there was one rally where he introduced her mom and dad,
Oh, wow.
and then there was the next rally when her mom had passed, and he's like, here she is still pushing on because she believes in America first and fighting for our country and everything like that. So, yeah, Christina Caramo, Tudor Dixon, Matt DePerno. You've talked quite a bit about Matt DePerno when we were talking at dinner. You were at Mar-a-Lago,
Yeah.
involved in that campaign.
Yeah.
I've met Matt twice now. It was funny when he recognized me at the Trump rally. I was like, "Hey, Matt," and he's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" I'm like, "You don't remember me?" He's like, "Yeah, buddy, we met up in Livingston." I'm like, "Holy shit, dude!" Yeah.
You like those people that are aware.
Dude,
Seriously.
I have that. Mom knows. I have that where I may not remember your name, but if we've met, I'll remember you.
Yeah, same here.
You know, and you said that about Trump, that you were at Mar-a-Lago and he was motioning to you, and you felt a little bit like you should just you didn't want to be overbearing or presumptuous,
Yeah.
but he was like,
Yeah, he's like, multiple times. Hey.
well, he probably remembers you slapping
I'm
his
like-
hand away when he was reaching for your glasses so he could sign your hat. He's like, I remember her. She
And he
slapped-
signed my vest.
and
I got to put my arms around him.
And she hugged me. I did not give you authorization to reach out and hug me.
Oh, you should saw some trolls on Fox News when they posted that picture. They're like, oh, she better watch her, you know what?
Her what? I mean, we cuss on the show.
Because remember they said something about,
Oh, right? Yeah, that was totally taken out of context.
I'm like, really? Really?
That's what they'll say. That was totally taken out of
I
context.
was like, wow.
You know, the pussy comment.
Yeah, exactly.
That was taken out of context.
I was like, oh my God.
It always is
freaking
with the
low-class
regular
trash.
mainstream news. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you listen to them? They don't tell the truth.
Yeah, there's only one left in the mainstream. That's Tucker. He's the only one left that's
Yeah.
worth anything. Tucker's pretty awesome, but everybody else in the mainstream.
I heard he was the only one that signed a contract that he cannot be censored.
Correct.
You heard that too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. His contract is that he can say whatever the fuck he wants, and the only thing they can do is ask him to resign if they don't like if it reaches a level where they don't like his content. They're not going to do that at this point because he's the #1 draw for Fox News.
Oh, yeah. And I heard part of the people that run Fox or have shares are like not even American.
No, they're British. Yeah.
I heard a Mexican, or that might be old news. That
Last
may have
time
a
I
little
knew,
bit.
I'm sure Tim can look it up for us, but the last time I knew,
Which one?
Fox News ownership. Last time I knew it was Rupert Murdoch's boys.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I know it's been a while, so.
yeah, it's been.
But I like it that he's not censored. And then Judge Janine, you know, I met her at.
Well, they fired Judge Napolitano because I think he still was one thing once a week, but they fired him because he was saying shit that they didn't like. Tucker has a lock solid fucking contract. That's the only
Bunch
reason
of
he's still there.
snowflakes. Can't handle the truth.
And they know.
Well,
they
want,
know it.
you know what? The nitpicking has been going on for the last, serious nitpicking for the last 10 years.
Yeah.
You're offending us, you're offending us, you're offending us. And it's like, really?
Well, they're offending us with their drag queen crap and
Oh, my God,
you know,
exactly.
this tranny stuff. And
But they have cried and cried about us offending. And it's like, you know what? Put on your big girl panties.
that's what I said before.
Yeah, put on your big girl panties and
look.
stand up.
Right.
You know, and shut
42.
up.
0.3%.
Pull up your pants,
It's ridiculous.
get out of your mama's basement, turn your Obama phone, and get a job.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And you ain't got nothing to talk about.
And stop being offended by what somebody says. It
And then I
has
got
nothing
sucker
to-
punched
Oh, nice.
in Royal Oak.
But did they go to jail?
Yeah, she was found guilty because a patron in the restaurant saw it and started recording. And he was never involved in politics. And you know what he said to me? Londa, you woke me up. I didn't realize what was going on.
Yeah.
Until what happened to you, and I started following you on Facebook. And
There's thousands of stories like that where people, until evil literally is on display in front of them, they don't realize it. What were you saying, Tim?
42.3% is what the Murdoch family.
Okay, and what is there
Fox.
is there some Mexican involvement there?
What are you talking about?
or Saudi,
The other 50,
or Saudi, or Mexican.
yeah,
Oh, well, of the rest of it,
yeah.
I don't know.
It just
But that's
shows.
the lion's share. They are majority owners.
Oh, they're majority owners, so nobody else owns
43.
more than 43%.
No, exactly, right.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. So there might be some minority stakes.
$2.15 billion of income.
That's not very much.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So I did do a bit of a search. We don't use Google here,
Good. DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo, but this is on Bing actually,
Okay.
because I haven't changed it, but so that's where I pull up your bio, was a little search there. You said some misinformation. What misinformation has been propagated at your expense?
I don't know. Tell me.
Well, you said that earlier. You're like, don't believe everything that you read in the news. I was curious as to if there was an exact incidence that you could point to.
I have to look on the internet. No, the thing is, I have friends from different platforms, and I'm not directly involved with any other organization just because I got friends, Proud
Okay.
Boys, and other patriot groups in DC and stuff like that. Doesn't make me, bad person.
No, absolutely. No.
But
So this one,
there's a lot of fake news out there.
Can I
I
sh-
got that right.
can I share this one?
Yeah, that's fine.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
I got demoted because of that event.
Is that event right
Oh,
there?
no, well, that weekend.
Nice.
Because I wouldn't listen to the founder of Bikers for Trump. I'll probably lose my position, but I don't care.
So this is, you probably will, or you did?
I might. I got demoted to state.
Okay.
I don't kiss anybody's ass.
All right. So where are you in that picture, or is that just a general picture of you?
I think, let me put my glasses on. I think I'm right there. Yeah, that's me right there.
Okay.
That's
All
my
right.
girlfriend, Lisa.
Okay.
Those are all my buddies.
I don't have, so I'm just going to use the pointer to point. So that's you.
Yeah.
Nice.
He was actually, they followed us all weekend, the reporters for that.
Okay.
For 3 days. And the founder of, I can't believe I'm saying all this, Bikers for Trump is like, don't talk to them, don't talk to them. I'm like, I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm talking the truth.
Right.
But, maybe because I was talking, someone else wasn't, whatever. And I was trying to get an interview with him, and day 3, he finally talks to them, but, somebody got pissed off pretty bad because, we had reporters following us all weekend.
Right. So yeah, so this one was.
And he was actually pretty good. I'm like, don't run me under the bus, please. I'm going on my way to talk to you. And he was actually really nice. My girlfriend, he wasn't so nice too. Some of the stuff he said. It's a very long thing. I don't know if you saw it.
Right.
But he was most kind to me.
So it's quoting you in here. I got to find it in the article because it's quoting you right there, but it doesn't.
I can't believe he found that.
Well, come on.
Yeah, there's some other stuff that's actually not as available on Facebook. So research on the internet. I did a a ride to Wisconsin, and there's this drag, whatever you call him, cross-dresser.
Trans.
Yeah, and he's from England.
Oh, wow.
He showed up in these psychedelic colors and all this other crazy stuff, and I'm like, oh my God. So I brought a bunch of bikes from Michigan, and there were some from Wisconsin, and we did a ride together, and he tried to make us look bad, but I don't think we looked that bad.
There's the bridge.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the bridge or is that a different
Yep.
one?
Yep. It
Tell
looks
me-
like it, yeah.
Tell me you cut to that.
Yeah, that's Trump Unity
On it.
Bridge.
Yep. There's the Trump Unity Bridge. Yeah, build the wall. I love it. That's when was that? That was 2016?
Is it?
Yeah, and that's
I've been with him for many years now.
back in 2011 when people start popping up.
Hillary showed up in Ann Arbor for a book signing just when she lost the election. It was so cool. We were circling like multiple times, right? And he's like, yeah, because Hillary lied, people died, right? And we kept saying that and shit. And we're like just circling that square. And
Okay.
finally, the state troopers came in with an escort, and she was there, and she had to go right past. She just lost Trump in big letters. and there was a state cop was like, we were coming by and go, yay, Hillary lied, people died in Benghazi, and stuff like that. And then the cop was putting his phone out. He's like, yeah, like that. He was like all happy on our side. We had people coming up, attacking the Trump Unity Bridge guy in his window, and then I got in my own vehicle so I could start recording if something happened.
Right.
There's people like an old man, probably in his 60s, went up to the bridge site, hitting it with an umbrella. A mom and two daughters stood in front and blocked it and went like this, and it just went on the whole evening. And then a guy coming up in this, looked like a Muslim guy coming up, and he was like trying to get on the side of the bridge. He was like spitting and stuff like that. And I was just like, oh my God. And then some chick come up to me and she said, I got you on film. I'm going to put this on social media. Everybody's going to know who you are. And I'm like, bitch. Boom. I took myself, I said, get your phone out of my face. Next is going to be your face.
Right.
And she backed off. I was like, oh my God.
Nice.
I had so many encounters with stuff like that, with the Trump Unity Bridge.
Right? Let's see. It's getting to the part. I'm trying to figure out
And
if
then
it
we
gets there.
met, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Keep talking.
And then that same time in Ann Arbor, this guy was in Rob Cortis's face, Trump Unity Bridge guy. He had his window down. He's like screaming. This guy gets out in the middle of the street, and he has my back to this day. He puts his car in park. You're in Ann Arbor. I mean, it's very little. He grabs the guy, takes him, throws him down. Get out of here. And he did. The guy left. But ever since then when I was in Kalamazoo and I was like going on live and stuff, and I was telling him how, we were getting attacked, and he's like, Yogi, you need me? I'll call some people. He's with militia.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's like I got connections.
Okay. I don't know what he's saying. I'm reading. Tim's texting me something, and I'm like, okay, I'm not. If we think we need to clarify. So, anyways, I scroll down to the part of the article. It says, when I met Londa Gatt back at Harry's later that afternoon, she was showing off an iPhone photo of herself posing with the president. In it, Trump smiles a bit uneasily towards a throng of leather-clad men holding up clenched fists and iPhones. He curls his arm around a woman who looks, and when she's in her full getup, like a casting director's vision of a no bullshit woman biker. Leather vest, bejeweled black headband above a thoughtful coiffed. How do you say that? Coiffed. That always sounds dirty to me. Coiffed blonde hair. She's middle-aged, lives and works in this is supposed to say suburban, Ex-bourbon.
Coiffed is acceptable.
Coiffed?
Coiffed.
Coiffed. Detroit as a part-time in-home nurse and hairdresser, and not long ago switched from riding dirt bikes to a Harley. To a large degree, her social world has been shaped by being a member of the biker world, which has allowed her to meet friends at charity rides she helps organize. She sees the country by traveling to big rallies and biker get-togethers. I mean, he did some slights right there in his descriptions.
He was the nicest to me, though, compared to my other friends.
Right.
But still, like, I was like, oh, really?
So he did a few slights, but then he was polite in there. So Cox, I'm gonna say Cox was the one that was running everything.
He runs Bikers for Trump, yeah.
Okay. So until Cox and Trump came around, none of the activity was organized around politics. She told me that she had never, until Trump ran for president, done anything political more than casting a vote. But now she suddenly finds herself occupying a curiously important role in America's wild new politics, one that she herself seemed to hardly believe. This is a quote, quoted you.
Okay.
We're gonna go up on stage with him tomorrow. That's a big quote. And
Well, yeah, because I get VIP, so.
he said he mumbled something non-committal, and she leaned back and punched me accusingly on the shoulder. You don't look excited. Did you actually punch that reporter?
Yeah.
Give him a little love tap? Let me
Shut
see.
up.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see
That's
where
something
it's at.
I would do.
What's wrong with you?
Don't you talk back.
That's what you said to him. You're like, don't you talk back. Let's see. Gatt is a Bikers Midwest Regional Coordinator. Her role is a good illustration of how group activity works and how they plan to mobilize the Trump 2020 campaign. She is one of the Bikers' 7 national leaders and oversees a swath of these groups that stretch from the Canadian border to the mid-Atlantic. Quote, my moderators will host rallies, and then I'll go there to support them and to support the candidates, you said. I've been to Florida like 5 times with Ron DeSantis. We've helped swing that state for him. Yeah. So you've been around in less than 7 years.
A lot of, on my own dime.
How's that work?
I have a rental home that I rent, so it helps.
That's some supplemental?
Yeah, it finances my travel.
That seems to be the biggest Achilles heel with a lot of this stuff is just the straight up money.
It's expensive.
You know?
You know, and when you go to DC,
Yeah.
you know, I was in DC on January 6th.
Oh shit! Now the FBI's coming.
They've been at my house.
Have they?
Yeah.
Did you walk through the velvet ropes that you got invited to walk through?
No, actually, the whole reason I went to DC was because I got VIP tickets, and I brought we had buses that went out, you know, with the Republican Party of Michigan that helped sponsor it, and Bikers for Trump was going to too, but we didn't have to. You know, it ended up the buses were full and they didn't need any more.
Okay.
So I went there and I had VIP tickets, so we went in. My whole purpose was to see Trump the one last time.
Right.
So, and then my girlfriend's like, oh, you know, let's go to the Capitol. And I said, I don't want to go there. It was like so congested. And you know, they said there was a couple 100,000 there. I met an IT guy.
No.
He said, this is what my business does for a living. He said, we counted 2.2 million. And
Right.
if you look, and so I went up to the Capitol to get on top of the rafters where they do the inauguration to get an overview, big picture, and just get a picture of the whole thing to see it and take a picture because I wanted to see it.
Right.
And I did. And I saw a lot of things that were wrong. I saw Antifa look like Antifa, and then
If it looks
Trump-
like an Antifa and walks like an Antifa, it's probably an Antifa.
oh, let me back up.
Okay, back up.
We we were walking in, and I saw like, I think it was 5 busloads, 5 buses, and they're all blacked out. You couldn't see anything on the inside, okay? And my phone was dead. I couldn't take any pictures of anything.
Okay.
And I told my girlfriend, she's like, oh, I want to take pictures of it. I'm like, no, look at that. There's something going on.
Yep.
And they were escorted by Escalades, black Escalades. So they went on through, they got their escort. So it took us a while to get up on the Capitol Hill. We went into where the rafters were, and, you know, smoke bombs or tear gas was going off, and I'm like, I'm getting out of here. You know, I don't want to be a part of this. I'm starting to see stuff I don't like. Then I look to this side. There was these people that had like a black cap, black jacket, pants, and it looked like the iron-on police, you know, letters.
Yeah.
And it just didn't look
Didn't
real.
feel right.
Then yeah, and then I saw real police were in full riot gear over here.
Right.
About at least 100, 150 or something. And then I'm watching coming up the side of the hill, and never in a million years would Trump supporters be standing next to Antifa walking up the hill. They came up together. They were there together for about 5 minutes, and I said, look at this shit. This ain't right.
Right.
I said, something's
So
going
those are
on.
genuine Trump supporters.
I'm getting out of here.
Yeah.
My girl, oh, no, let's go down there. I want to go in. Let's go. And I'm like, you can go in. I'm going that way. So after about 7-8 minutes, they moved this little portable gate or whatever you call
barricade.
those. Barricade, yeah.
Yep.
And they all went in together. Now, Trump supporters wouldn't be hanging out and walking with Antifa. Right.
No.
Right.
So they went that way. So when they all went that way. The riot police came across and went after the Trump supporters instead of going after them. And they went right up the stairs, and they're banging and stuff like this. Then you see tear gas, and then I saw this one guy. People were trying to get out; they couldn't get out.
Yeah.
I was so pissed off that my phone was dead because I wanted to record stuff. This guy, he was trying to leave. He can't go anywhere, and the cop's going like this to him. And then he starts hitting him with his baton. And the guy's like, hey, like, what are you doing? The other cop, when he does it, turns around and goes, tss, maces him in the face.
Oh, jeez.
I saw that. I'm like, I'm out of here. I am not sticking around for this. You know, I wasn't there. I wanted just to get a picture of the overview of what was going on, and that was it. I left. And it took forever to get down, and I was scared because smoke and all that tear gas was going off in different places. And I saw a window getting busted by one of those sticks, whatever you call them, when they were hitting things, and people were up on top. I don't know how they got up there, but
they were up there.
They were doing stuff. And
yeah, no, Ray Epps has never been charged. And he was one of the main guys who's kept saying, let's go.
Promoted it the day before.
Yeah, he was there the day before, and he was there on the day. He's like, we got to go show them. We got to go in there. And people, at one point, there's a whole video of him being shouted down by the crowd. The crowd's going, Fed, 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 Fed. They knew he was a Fed. They knew he was a fake.
I saw that video, yeah.
That's crazy. So you were there, but you got out. But the FBI came in
yeah, because Michigan Tea is a troll Democrat radical page, and they were posting stuff on our Facebook, you know, and I won't say the other name, but we had a communication talk, and we were talking about how we're going to like track and find out which person is behind all this, who was really Michigan Tea. And we did it, and we narrowed it down, and we busted them. And then he said, oh, my grandson got a hold of my phone. Your grandson, your 5-year-old grandson? Really?
Oh,
and
really?
It was cool. Angela, a friend of mine, we were in cahoots about this, and I would have to get she would probably know the person's name, but I'm sure he's changed it by now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was like, cool, we got him.
Dude. So that just deplatform him, or that
He probably switched over to something else,
Yeah.
But Michigan T is their Twitter name.
Michigan T?
Yeah, so he put it on Twitter about us, about me, and then that's how FBI showed up at my house. I'm like, I didn't do anything. I didn't
So what do they
go
say?
anywhere.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that didn't do anything that are still sitting in jail.
I don't know. They interviewed me. You know, I said, a lot of my friends said not to talk to you. I said, I have nothing to hide. I didn't do anything.
Right.
But
Most
still,
of us don't have nothing to hide, but they still,
exactly. I guess I got lucky then.
well, blessed. You said it earlier. Yeah. So, past the midterms, where do you see your political involvement? You're still gonna be with the Bikers for Trump? You said, what'd you say? Second vice president, right, for the Women's Federation. You're gonna move up to the first vice president, right? Is that the one you're moving up in?
Yeah, if I decided to
If you stay to stay with them?
stay with it.
But
Yeah.
you're still the Midwest coordinator,
No, I'm state.
state coordinator for Bikers for Trump.
Yeah, he got pissed off because of the event that weekend because I didn't listen.
You seem like you follow rules pretty good.
Hey, nobody owns me.
Apparently
Nobody.
not. Apparently not.
You can't tell me what to do.
Amen to that,
We're
sister.
gathering that, yeah.
You know, I mean, was I getting a little bit more light than someone else? I don't think so, but maybe someone thought that. I don't know, but you
Okay.
know, that's not what it's about for me. It's about getting the truth out and saving our nation,
Right.
and that's the most important thing to me. So
Absolutely.
I'm not going to kiss anybody's ass.
Okay. I mean, no, that's a
I
good
think it's
position.
important, you know, because we've talked about it here on the podcast about these people who are actually going for the money as opposed to the truth.
Well,
They're compromising their moral values, their
Yeah.
all of it because they're making money.
that's
They're
the whole
being
Antifa
paid off.
group.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's something that I don't think you should aspire to that.
When the FBI came to my house, you just prompted me, something came in my head. Antifa went on their Detroit Can Breathe page in
Okay.
Detroit, and they posted a picture of me and this politician, and we're at an event in Macomb, and the one girl goes, "Oh, I punched her." That's when I was found guilty. Another girl said, "Kill her."
Really?
So right about that time, and FBI came to my house, I said, "What about this?
Yeah. What about
Yeah.
these
What are you
people?
gonna do with that?" And she kept on wanting to get pictures and videos
From you?
my friend, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, what about this? They've been threatening to kill me, and I've been put on public platform in Detroit.
Right. They didn't give a shit.
Never responded back.
No, they don't give a shit. FBI has become such a political agenda. I'm surprised they
Fucked.
haven't come and visit me. But we keep
just-
getting shadow banned. Maybe that's why. So what is next? What are you thinking next? How do you think we're going to do in this midterm?
I have hope that there's a possible chance that Tudor will win for governor. It looks enlightening right now,
Right?
so I'm not sure 100%. Same thing with Matt. I think he should win too.
I think Matt.
It's a shut and open and closed case.
Yeah, I think
for me.
Matt and Christina are just a
Solid.
lock. Tudor, she's been kicking ass, and they're gonna have to do a lot to steal it.
Yeah.
But she's neck and neck right now.
Yeah.
I don't think the margins for me with Matt and Christina are too good for them to be able to pull it off. But then again, it's the Democrat Party, you know.
Yeah.
And they be lying, cheating.
Oh,
Exactly. Yeah.
Nasty.
How do you know they're lying? Their lips are moving. So you think we're hopeful? That's your words.
I actually have hope. I have some comfort thinking that they're going to win.
Right.
I think there's going to be a change. There should be a change. It's got to be a change.
Yeah.
Because just Democrats can't win like this. I think we're going to win.
Well, they've overstepped in their
Yeah, there you go.
they've overstepped in their
bounds.
they've
whatever.
revealed, that's the one thing that Trump was, they kind of criticized Trump a little bit, and they said, you came there to drain the swamp, and you didn't do that. And he said drain the swamp. He didn't say level the swamp or clean out the swamp. He said drain it. And we know exactly who all of these people are. We know who Tim Ryan is. We know who Pence is. We know who all of these so-called Republicans who are Republican in name only, let alone the Democrats, have revealed themselves exponentially to be exactly who they are. Cool. So I think he drained the swamp exactly what he said. So it's a matter of now we got to keep our, whatever the metaphor is, we got to keep the foot on the gas and drive it all the way through, or we got to, keep our foot on their neck so that they can't get back up. But we've got to, they've revealed themselves to be who they truly are.
More so now than ever.
Yeah.
It's like, holy crap.
Well,
I mean, it's in our face. It's like smacking us in the face.
One of the masterful moves that Trump did was when I think it was year 2 or year 2.5, almost to the third year of his term, we had all this, another mass shootings, and they said, oh, we got to have this and we got to have that. And he said, oh, red flag laws, and okay, well, let's talk about it. And he really infuriated the base because we're like, we're not going to do anything against the Second Amendment. And here's all of a sudden Trump saying, well, let's have a discussion with the Democrats and see what they're proposing. And that pissed everybody off for about a week until the Democrats came in and said, we want a total ban on all guns across the country. And he went, yeah, you're not going to get that, so why talk?
It's over.
Yeah, right.
But what he did that was masterful was opening the door and saying, we're willing to talk about a few things. And then they revealed themselves to be totalitarians, the Beto O'Rourke, Booty Judge type people that, hell yes, we're going to take your AR-15s. The fuck you are. But that's the masterful stroke of forcing them to reveal themselves. And I think that's what's been the most phenomenal thing, is that they have been forced to reveal themselves.
They're exposed, yeah.
All the time. And they don't, it's the one scripture is in Romans where it talks about how I raised, I'm trying to think of it in Romans, but he says I raised up this person so I may have mercy on him, this person that I may pour out my wrath on them. And when you find out that Pharaoh, even when he wanted to relent, when he felt a twinge of remorse for what he was doing, it says that God hardened his heart so that he would keep going to his own destruction, because he wanted that. He ultimately wanted that. And I think of another scripture that says that God gives us the desires of our heart. And what most people don't realize is that's true whether you are a believer or not. He gives you the desire of your heart. And most people can't wrap their head around that. But if you are hell-bent on doing evil, he will give you the desire of your heart so that you self-destruct in that evil pursuit. He'll give you opportunity to come out of it, opportunity to change.
That's
and
true.
I look at the Democrat Party and I go, you guys are so hell-bent on evil that when we say, okay, well, we'll go for, we could say that rape and incest are, it's 0.03% of all cases of abortion, but we'll give you that one. No, we want partial birth abortions and abortions up to a month after they're born. What?
It's so sick.
Oh, okay. We'll talk about some red flag gun restrictions and stuff like that. No, we want all guns taken. No, it's a right to self-defense.
That's right.
And we're watching across the board, whether it's free speech or abortion or all this stuff. I'm watching these people implode in spite of themselves. I'm like, if you just backed off a little bit, then you could keep going with your insane agenda behind the scenes. But you literally boldly come out full frontal and just say exactly what kind of depraved, demonically influenced people you are.
I'm glad they're doing it. You show what a bunch of
absolutely.
radicals they
Absolutely, but it's amazing to me.
are. I've never seen it so in your face now.
I almost think that it's the power behind it, the evil power behind it that have got them riled up to where they think even if they say this stuff,
Yeah.
that it's okay. And we know it's not okay. But the fact of the matter is, they're just like,
Yeah.
I'm God. That's all there is to it.
Right.
I'm gonna rule the, and it's
Well, that's the thing about it
not
is,
the way it has to be, but that they're that crazed at that point.
and that's my point is bring up the verse in Romans. I'm trying to remember where it's at in Romans. But anyways, when he says, they literally would just keep, even though they know destruction is right there. And I'm paraphrasing off that verse, or off that passage. Tim's taking over my computer. He's going to find it for me.
Right on.
I just watched my computer get hijacked.
Nice.
No, I'm just looking for a picture.
Oh. I thought you were looking up for me, buddy. I was so excited.
You were.
No, I was
but,
making a GAT button.
oh, you're making a GAT button.
There you go.
What's that mean?
I don't know.
That means that he stole one of your
One of your clips.
comments that he liked, and he's gonna let us have it. Like mine.
Well, if you're gonna do that, do this one. Let me take back my mouse. Do that.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah, find me a picture.
that one right there.
Okay, yeah.
Dude, you're gonna have a GAT button over here. A get button, like Leo gets whatever you need. Leo gets.
One time my son, not one time, but when I was pregnant with my one son, and I had to have a amniocentesis, I think, where they pull the fluid out.
Okay.
4 months, and I was watching her doing it, and I'm like, what are you doing? And I said, you're getting way too close to his knee. Then all of a sudden, he like jerks his knee up, and she scraped him from here to here. And how I know that?
And she's got that scar
When
today.
he was born,
Yeah, that scar.
it was a fresh scratch. 5
Aw.
months, 4.5, 5 months later, and I was pissed. I was so mad.
Wow.
So you can't tell me that they can't feel pain
Oh yeah.
at 4 months old, or inside of you.
Absolutely.
It's like, really?
It's such bullshit. What they. No, it's such bullshit. What's the button you gave me, Tim?
It'll be a surprise.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
So
Stop
mysterious.
stealing the.
Oh, my bad. I didn't know you needed.
I'm gonna make it.
Okay. I didn't know where you were putting it. I'm scrolling through the.
I'm putting it over you people. We don't use you people very often.
What do you mean, you people?
You people.
What do you mean, you people?
You
Well, if you want to use it now that you said it before I change it, I mean,
No, no. I think what's happening here is that.
Eroding beneath me. Eroding. Back to you, fuckers.
fuckers.
Why do we gotta cuss so much on this show?
Oh, that's page.
Page 59 of the audio clips.
Yeah, no, tell me about it. I moved all of Mom to page 5.
Of course, because mom needs to move up. We got to get rid of this shit.
I moved her all up to page 5.
So while we're doing that, and you get a sound clip, we can go ahead. You about ready to wrap up? Any pertinent things? Anything you're thinking about? What's next on the horizon for you? Political or so from your bio, or from that article, you still doing hair? What are you doing? What do you do for?
We just part-time, and I have a rental home. It's where I make the majority of my money, and I think I'm going to quit hair at the end of the year because of the 5G and the pain and
Right?
yeah. I'm just like, I get shooting pains all the time, so
It's ridiculous.
I don't need to work. I'm just doing it because, waiting. I don't want to say it like that. A lot of my clientele is passing on.
Okay.
I've been doing them for over 25 years and 20 years or whatever, and it's just I'm not looking for new clientele, so
Right.
I'm just kind of like,
Phasing everybody out.
yeah.
Understood.
So, and I got a couple Democrat clients that I've
You're
had
still working on?
enough.
Oh, you
of-
had enough of them?
They're making it real easy for me to retire because when
Do you
when
do you
they-
go, oops, I slipped with the clippers?
No, I don't do that. I've known their kids. I did their kids when they're like 3 and 5, and now they're like in their 30s and they're getting married. And when Trump was running, and we were talking, I said there was voter fraud, and I never saw anybody's mouth go like quivering. He was like so pissed off. I'm like, wow, are you kidding me? I'm serious. And I'm like, just stop. We can't talk politics. You can't make me see it your way. I'm not going to see it your way.
Right.
And
So
vice
the
versa.
discussion is over,
Done.
right? Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, and now his wife has just turned into a major witch.
We can
Being
say-
nice.
We can say bitch on the show.
A bitch, yeah. She's
Yeah.
a freaking major
Psycho.
bitch.
She
Oh,
ra-
she's just like now, just every
not quite
little.
a rabbit boiler.
If she can get a little millimeter, she'll take it for a mile, try to run me under the bus.
Of course.
I'm like, I don't need you. I don't need your money. I don't need nothing from
Right.
you
Button's
guys.
ready.
So.
What's the
whatever.
okay? I'm going for the button.
Hey, I'm not gonna kiss anybody's ass. Nobody owns me. Can't tell me what to do.
Nice. Very nice.
Very nice, We
All right,
playing
Jim. Wait till I meet you.
Very nice, Tim.
You'll be here in a couple of weeks. So we got a lot of campaigns coming up. We're hopeful for the midterms here. Who are you actively involved with right now? Anybody specifically, or just with the Bikers for Trump and everything like that?
Yeah, I'm just promoting the proposals. No, on all three,
All three.
and promoting the candidates
Okay.
that we want: DePerno, Christina,
Yeah, Tudor.
and Tudor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's on other than phasing out the dimwit Democrats that you still have to cut their hair for? Is there anything else on the horizon major that's coming forth? You're just gonna keep pushing it forward, hoping you get some grandkids soon.
No. Well, my husband has grandkids. They're my grandkids too, but I officially don't want to be called grandma yet.
Oh, it's awesome. Not to be called grandma.
No,
grandpa.
no, I love them. We take
Gibbs
them on
loves being called
trips. We take
grandma.
them to Disney
I
World and all
love being
that.
called
Yeah.
grandma. Thank you, Tim. I do love being called grandma. What was the Ant-Man where the only coffee cup or trophy they could find was world's greatest grandma?
I don't
And they
know,
gave it
but
to him? It was
I
awesome.
went into the Spirit of Halloween store,
Yeah.
and they have a grandma. You know how they have those plastic, you put them over your head masks?
Yeah.
And it said grandma on it. Oh, my word. I laughed my butt off. I was like, I put it on. Then I check it off, and I'm like, okay, well, we're good.
You're like, I don't need your fucking mask. I will do this all on my own.
I'm sorry, but I got it going on anyways. But I had a good laugh over it because it just,
That's cool.
it was funny.
Yeah. it is
So I've been
funny.
a grandma for a long time, 31 years.
Yeah, you got great grandkids and grandkids and
31 years.
yeah.
Yeah, I just tell
Like
them to
the
call me
brood.
Nana.
Well, yeah, that works.
That's what my mom did, so I kind of like it.
Well, I have the kids call me Grandma Connie because there was so many more grandmas when the little ones, when my grandkids were little. And it was like Grandma Gibbs and Grandma this and, and it's like, okay, Grandma Connie.
Yeah, that's
Please
good.
just call me Grandma Connie,
Right?
And
Grandma
now-
Connie.
Yeah, now they just call me Grandma because all the other ones are gone, basically.
Yeah. Aw.
It was
Yeah.
hilarious when we were at a black church and they loved to call everybody, all the moms, all the grandmas and stuff by their last name, and so I'm there and I'm
They
there
call
to
me
speak,
Mother Gibbs.
and out of
Right.
total respect,
It
they're
was
like,
totally
and
cute.
so and Apostle Jeremy has his mother with Mother Gibbs. Would you like to say anything? She's like, you can call me Grandma Connie. That'll work. I'm not Mother Gibbs. That was my mother-in-law, and that's not going to work
No
here.
bueno.
They're like, oh, okay. It was just total
That's
cultural thing,
You know?
Yeah, it was wild. So, well, you'll get to it. Get that grandma, because we got to keep, we got to outpopulate these fucking idiots.
Well, and I think that's for me sitting in on this. I'm not in the political arena, but I am in the prayer arena. And I think that the grandmas of our country need to get on their knees over all of this, because it's not us that are going to suffer, it's our children and our grandchildren and our great-grandchildren.
You know, because for me, I don't care. I didn't get on board with this because of me, because I'm older and
Right.
But I battled having children, like I said, you know,
Yeah.
and it's like I did this for my kids,
Yeah.
and you know, and they're just like coasting along. I'm like, do you guys realize what's going on? I mean, thank God they're Republican, because
Right.
I would probably choke them if they weren't, because if you're not on the same side as me, and it's like,
Right. I brought you into this world. You don't
I'll
vote
take
like
you
me, I'm going
out.
to take you out.
yeah, yeah, you know, and my kids growing up, because I got them into travel teams, soccer and hockey, when they're around 3 years old, I had them on ice.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And they went through the program, and they graduated 4 levels, and I put them through it again because they were too young to put on a team, and then I put them on soccer team, I put them on hockey teams, they did travel.
Yeah.
One kid alone, I'm not bragging, and it's not
No,
why
you can
I'm saying
brag.
it, but
It's your
like
kids.
$15,000 just for one kid, you know, but you know what? They went national.
Right.
Flying out to Missouri and stuff like that, and they did really, really good. And my one son was teaching at Birmingham Seaholm High School afterwards.
Yeah.
And he would have taught more, but his girlfriend at the time didn't want to teach the girls, only the boys. So he's like, forget it, I'm done.
But what great opportunities you gave your kids,
Yeah,
you know,
and
and
memories
you
that
thought
they
of your
can't-
kids and how you, I mean, just the fact that what you just said, they went out of state, that is such a big opportunity.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of kids who don't go anywhere as they sit in this little, you know,
Yeah.
small world that they have.
Yep.
And they're not exposed. You know, we when I was raising Jeremy, we watched homeschoolers who were very sheltered in their culture because they were homeschooled, and they were, you know, it was a very Christian religious kind of an atmosphere, which I have I'm not against that, okay?
Right.
But I really truly believe that you have to get your children well-rounded by letting them be exposed to different you know, situations, because in the real world, this is what happens.
That's what it is, yeah.
You know, and so for me, prayer is paramount. I've been saying that since we started the podcast. I believe that the Lord has called me personally to pray for our country and pray against the wickedness that's coming down, because, you know, God is in control. God can take care of us, but he doesn't push his way in. We have to ask.
Right.
We have to call it out. We have to take the
true.
authority that Jesus gave us and say, no, we won't take this anymore. No, we don't want drag queens teaching any child. I don't give a
right.
crap whose child it is. No child should sit under somebody who is playing a character. A drag queen is not that real person.
Right.
I fought for my kids so many times in school. I mean, I even sued a school district, and I won in Rochester, and, you know, it went on their record for 3 years, and then it got taken off the record.
Yeah.
But yeah, and
Because
then,
they don't want to have that history there.
yeah,
Right.
and then there was a chick that one of the kids' his mother was a what do they call the lady at lunchtime? The lunchtime lady.
The
And
lunch lady.
He had 3 little pea spots, but because I invested so much money and time into my kids when they were little for sports, they were really good. So she started saying, your hockey ball, soccer, if it leaves the ground, soccer goals go off the ground or in the ground or in the air, but as long as it goes in the goal,
Right.
it wouldn't count. And then it was March. I'm not going to buy new snow pants in March just because my kids got 4 little teeny weeny pea-sized holes. So you made them sit down at lunch? So my ass went up there every freaking day almost when I didn't have my nursing classes. And I even skipped my nursing classes, but I knew not to say nothing. And I just stood there like this. And I knew not to say a word because I would get booted, right?
Right.
And I watched her bully little girls and boys get in their face with their hands and just... And then so the principal says to me one day, comes up to me and he says, excuse me, I want to talk to you before you go outside. And I said, what's up? And he goes, I'm sorry. Come into my office. I just want to tell you, I'm sorry, but you can't come back here during lunch anymore. I said, why? He says, well, when my staff can't do their job because you're here. So I didn't even plan this. It just popped in my head. I said, so you're telling me you hired incompetent people to watch over our children? Are you kidding me? I said, no, I will be back here. I have a right. I pay taxes. You can't make me leave, you know? And I said, and I tell you what, he goes, well, if you do that, I'm going to call the cops and you're going to be arrested. I'm going to have them arrest you. I said, you do that. I said, and when you do, I'm calling Channel 2 News, shame on you, and tell the cops they have to drag me out by the hair of my head because that's the only way I'm leaving. And
Nice.
I slammed the door, and then so I went back there a few times, a little bit, and then I started going back a little bit more, but I kind of like didn't go as much as I should have. You know, I needed to be in my nursing classes too, so whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah. And then my kids, when they would whine, you know, I would say, are you acting like a little girl? Do you want me to buy your dress? What kind of dress you want? They started laughing at me like, oh, I'll take purple. I'm like, shut up. They're so funny. I got some good kids. I got good kids.
That's awesome. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
It is. That is exactly what it's about. And our country is just leaning towards the wicked. And I don't believe it is. But I do believe that the power that is supposedly in power is leaning all the way over to the wicked. And we need to take it back. And whether it's with your rallies, you know, and standing up, being a delegate, or being a prayer warrior, we need to do what we're called to do.
Yeah, we got to identify what our calling is, what our purpose is in all of this, and then go after it. So, any final thoughts? You good?
I guess.
That's awesome. You know what it takes is it takes this grassroots connections that we have to have to get the word out there and to be there. And one thing that I was thinking about during the course of the show is that whatever the catalyst is, and a lot of times it's our kids. I mean, I mentioned it during dinner that the Muslims are rising up against Rashida Tlaib down there in Dearborn and stuff because she's backing the drag queen bullshit and the gay agendas in the schools.
And they will protect their children.
And it's like you stepped over, a line with those people, with those groups that we wouldn't think would be aligned with us. But on these issues, they're starting to align and saying, no, this is unacceptable. And you said, it was the concern for your kids that got you involved and got you saying, no, this shit ain't right. And I think that's for so many people, that is the
drive.
The drive.
Catalyst,
the drive or the catalyzing factor that says, okay, if I don't stand up, my kids don't have a future.
Yeah, that's it. And you know what? Meaning by standing up, they need to get involved.
Yeah.
They need to be a poll challenger. They need to take part in our elections.
Yeah.
So that they can understand what they're doing, so they can stop it. So now that Christina, there was just we won.
Right.
Where we can have our phones now again as poll challengers.
Yeah, that's another thing. You were at the TCF facility in Detroit as a poll watcher, and describe in closing tonight. Describe some of the shenanigans that you witnessed.
Well,
you were telling me a little bit at dinner.
Yeah, there was I was a poll challenger, and I wrote these two girls up because they were not doing things that they should have been doing, and they actually, I saw the computer, like the numbers just like spinning real fast, and I went in within the 6 feet allowance, to check it out.
Yeah,
I know.
such bullshit.
Yeah. And they saw me. I'm like, why are the numbers spinning so fast? What's going on? You know?
Mm-hmm.
And they jumped up, they screamed, and they hollered, and they're like, get away from me. Oh my God, you're within 6 feet. I'm going to die. I'm going to die. And then I was like so embarrassed because I've never done this before. And I'm just like, oh my God, are you kidding me? But even trying to look in, they were like, I think they were trained to do shoulder to shoulder. And after the fact, later on, I got a hold of an underground video that showed that there was nothing visual, audio. You hear them saying, yeah, if they get too close to you, and same thing
Throw a
that
fit.
throw
Yeah,
a fit,
throw a
stand
fit.
up,
Throw a
yeah,
fit.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
and then
Act like they're hurting you or something like that.
yeah, like they're gonna die. I'm like, really, you're gonna die? But yet you're like 2 inches away from this other person,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So then, and then also, I saw them take something out of the metal box. Once the metal ballots have been processed, they're put in a metal box, they're soldered, you're not allowed to touch it, it's not accessible. They took them back out, and they unwrapped it, and they were like putting it through the tabulator. So then when you go to adjudication, so if a ballot's challenged, and this is here, oh, everybody needs to know this. Do not vote straight ticket. Because when you do that, and you also never, ever, ever use a black marker, because they can make those smeared marks with a black magic marker, and they did that. You know, I don't know how it happened or whatever, but so then it's sent over to adjudication, and then, you know, there's supposed to be one Republican, one Democrat, and I caught these guys in a lie. That's what they said they were in the morning, and the same person in the afternoon said he was Democrat. Lied.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And so I wrote them up. They wouldn't give me their name.
Yeah.
They were allowed to wear Black Lives Matter masks and hats and have their phone.
But you
One of
couldn't
our-
walk in with a Trump hat.
Nothing.
No,
Nothing.
Not
They
a
even
flag,
had
not
little
nothing.
colored little dots that signal who they were, whose team they were on, so to speak, you know?
Wow.
I'm like, that's bullshit. But we had like a little American flag. You know,
Yeah.
that was a symbol
Flag
for
repel,
us.
yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I got bullied by this real tall black guy. He was like 7 feet. I was standing in the middle because the internet was hooked up. And, you know, we were challenging that, and they didn't like
Yeah,
that.
it's not supposed to be hooked up at all.
Yeah, and that was brought up by multiple people throughout the night.
Wow.
I was there for 22 hours, and then I saw, I mean, when the guy came over to me, and I was kind of looking down at that moment, and he goes, real close. I said, move. And I looked up, I'm like, what is that? And I looked up, now I'm pissed. I lifted up my leg, and I moved, but I didn't go anywhere. Like,
Right. Go
up
fuck
yours.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, anyways,
So so you did an affidavit. You actually signed an affidavit.
Yeah.
Attesting to the fraud that you saw.
yep.
Yeah. And there's been multiple people throughout that. Larry finally chiming in. Larry Parsons finally chiming in.
Hi, Larry.
He said hello to all of us.
Hey, Larry.
Londa and me, Grandma Connie, and then he said, Londa, you are an incredible patriot. Defeat the Democrats.
That's right.
So are you, Larry.
Yeah, Larry's awesome. Tim found the world's greatest grandma clip over here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Let's see.
It's also a button now.
Is it a button?
Yeah, I told you. Page 8, top right hand corner.
Page fucking 8. Top right hand. What? I'm not seeing it.
Well, that's page 9.
Oh, page 8?
WG Gma.
Oh.
I'm so touched you think I'm the world's greatest grandma. It makes me want to knit you a sweater.
It's funny shit.
It's funny shit.
That is some funny shit.
Who did that?
Well, Tim pulled the clip, but that's from Ant-Man. Ant-Man and the Wasp, when his daughter hands him, yeah, she's like, they didn't, here. I don't know
That's
if-
hilarious.
Can we play it?
You just back it up 30 seconds.
Right there.
The secret vault. Tell me you brought the
Are you taking over?
Yeah, you're on it.
Okay.
contact lens.
Yep.
Perfect. Right
can barely hear it.
It's the micro treasure.
My trophy?
It looks like treasure.
Oh, it is to me.
I want to take it to show and tell.
Oh, no, you can't do that. You can't. It never leaves the house. It's too important. This is the best birthday present you ever got me. I'm so touched you think I'm the world's greatest grandma.
It was the only one they had.
It makes me want to knit you a sweater.
Oh no, the fuzz!
That's good there.
I was looking at the schematics for the character.
That's awesome, dude.
It's the only one they had.
It's the only one they had.
It's the only one they had.
I'm gonna knit you a sweater.
I think that's great.
Mm-hmm.
Are we done?
We are getting there.
Oh,
Are you like bailing on me?
I'm ready to. It's
It's late.
it's not really late, but it's late.
It's late enough.
It's late enough. It's 9:30.
Yeah. Oh, and finally, and Jane's chiming in finally. Hi, y'all.
Hey, you Jane.
Great Patriot Londa. They finally tuned. You guys are gonna have to watch the rebroadcasts.
Yep.
Find it on there. So it's been a pleasure having you.
Side note.
What?
I don't know if you remember the plot line, but that's where he hid the suit. Was in the trophy.
Oh yes, I do. I do remember that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
just remember-
That's why she wasn't supposed to take it to school, and he had to go to school and find it. Jane says her internet is buffering a lot tonight, and it's hard to watch the podcast. I understand.
Mine has
Jane.
been at Greta's. The internet has been crazy, like going off. Buffering and then going off. And
Yep.
the funny part about it is all those reset buttons don't work. You just gotta unplug this shit
Correct.
every time.
Right.
It's
and I
insane.
think they're doing that shit
Like-
on purpose too, because they want to break down lines of communications. They only want to be able people to hear what they want us to hear.
Well, that's all right. I'm not watching their stuff anyways.
Right. They can fuck off.
Yeah. It's all good.
All right. We guys good?
Yep.
Good.
Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I hope
Sure.
to see you back. We gotta do more stuff. Of course, you're gonna be back for dinner tomorrow, no matter what. So I mean,
I am.
that's what you said. You said you'd be back for dinner.
I did.
Yeah. I mean, that's
What's
She
for
said
dinner?
she wanted to know what was for dinner.
what's for dinner.
Yeah.
I'll figure something
Londa,
out.
put your John Henry on there. That's Jeremy's
John
copy.
Henry, your James.
John
your James-
Hancock. What is it? James, what is it?
What's he say? There's that
There's a
commercial,
Yeah.
and he goes, let's just call it a signature. It's the one where he's when you turn into your parents.
Yeah.
When you home ownership, you turn into your parents, and he's trying to coach him out of doing that.
Out of saying John Hancock.
He's like, I'll just put my John Hancock in here. Let's just call it let's just call it a signature.
Well, now you know where I fall into because I am a grandma.
Yeah. When you become your.
By the way, there is one more button.
That is kind of funny.
There's one more button. I guess I have to push it before we
you
go.
just moved one more button on page 6 in homage to the traveling everywhere that I can relate to. You can hit that one.
Been everywhere.
Yep.
I've been everywhere.
I've been everywhere.
If we were still on YouTube, that would have been a copyright strike for that 2 seconds of.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
no.
sure.
Yeah, they're fucking tools. Thank you, Tim, so much from your remote location in
On my day off.
on your day
On your
off.
day off. in
I appreciate you
Oklahoma.
responding, buddy. He's screaming at me, Discord.
Yeah, no. I just got to pack up my whole house and
It's all
you
good,
know.
Tim.
ship a bunch of shit. And
Yeah. Dude,
not that I don't have anything to do.
the time is short. The end is near.
Color my hair.
Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, I want you to show up with as a, purple-haired princess.
You want red, purple, and sure?
Yeah.
Pigtails?
Yes, that's exactly what I want. That will.
Once you're over that, then we'll talk.
If you only knew.
If you only knew.
If you only knew.
If you only knew.
Fox is my brand.
Thank you very much,
Yep.
Londa.
Thanks for the
Yogi.
invite. Yep.
What was the full nickname?
Yogi Lou.
Yogi Lou.
But my brother doesn't remember where he got it from, so I don't know. I'm like, okay.
I would, the nicknames we get. Sometimes you go, I would never. No, I call my grandson Bubby because he bubbles around here. He's just bubbly, and all of a sudden he'll just bubble up, and he'll make a noise, and I'll go, dude, You're just a bubble.
And he sings, you know, like he'll be just doing something and you won't be paying attention. He'll be doing his own thing. And he's just singing and humming and, you know, tapping his fingers. And
Just like me.
just like his grandpa.
So, this is my brain. I'm Jeremy Scott Gibbs. Londa Gatt. Biker chick for Trump. Ate a big old steak with me and Grandma tonight.
Yes, awesome cooking. You did a very good job.
Thank you. I got to eat it too, so it better be good.
It was very good.
Kind of picky. So
Me
I'm
too.
like, you know, this has got to taste good. And Grandma Connie Supreme and Tim in the remote location. Thank you, everybody, for chiming in. If you guys didn't catch all the show, you can catch it at rebroadcast. Like, share, and subscribe. Do all that jazz. Please go over to our Rumble channel. If you look up This Is My Brain in one word and look under the channel settings, you'll find us right away. Or you can look up Jeremy Scott Gibbs. You'll find us that way. But go over there because they keep shadow banning us and all these other places. And we're trying to build that channel now that we've lost our YouTube and my official Facebook channel. And I'm still just doing on Facebook on my main page. But for those of you that did tune in, I appreciate you guys. And for those of you checking it out later, we're America First people and we want you to support that.
Amen. Peace
Get out there and vote.
Peace.
Don't vote
Yes.
straight ticket. Don't use a magic marker.
Yeah.
Use a black ink pen.
It
Color
makes
in
all
there.
the difference because then it won't go to adjudication.
There you go.
Wisdom from a poll worker. Thank you, guys. We'll talk to you later.
This is my brain.
Dad, that's an egg. Yeah, that's an egg.
Honey, dude,
That's an egg.
seriously.
That's an egg.
It's a metaphor.
It's still an egg.
That's an egg.
I would challenge you.
That's an egg.
I know my brain is not actually an egg, okay? It's a metaphor.
Metaphor or not, that's not your brain.
I can clearly see.
It's just an egg.
Una cerveza para mí. My egg is my brain.
Can I at least have some bacon, maybe some sausage with that egg, though?
Oh, I want some bacon.
I want crepes.
Have some bacon and pancakes with that egg.
I'll take it with cheese.
Extra large, brown, cage-free eggs.
Can I have your brain with cakes?
A little sausage and a little toast and potato.
That would be great.
Does it have antibiotics?
I don't know, man. I'm not good at this shit.
Well, they gotta be able to resist some diseases.
You resist the disease.
Does it got any hormones?
Maybe. It's cage free.
Vegetarian?
Maybe.
Are they vegan?